Man, it's been a hot minute since I took a look at the 30-minute missions kit. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta back with another review, and today we're going to take a look at the 30-minute missions kit, the Acerby or Acerby, whatever how you pronounce it, Type A. Like I said, it is from the 30-minute missions line, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically where you can get a bunch of cheap model kits and do some army building and customize it however you like. I've already briefly talked about it. Check out my Alto and Portanova double review. This one, however, just looks like a robot anime girl, which caught my interest. So taking a look at the box art, we have the, okay, I'm not going to bother pronouncing the name, so I'll just call her Robot Girl. So we have the Robot Girl in the standing pose and what they look like in action. So moving on to this side of the box, here's what the kit looks like when it's front and rear shot. Shows out the articulation, nice action poses, the weapons, and a nice gimmick where you can put the visor down and encourage you to customize them. Moving on to this side of the box, yeah, I know the box is damaged, so bear with me. And it just shows out the, I guess you could say the armor layout or maybe weapon layout. After opening the box, we got 4 bags of runners and a manual. Taking a look at the cover of the manual, we see some familiar art right over here and more information. And look at that, we also got a story. So if you guys are curious, feel free to pause and read it. And moving on down, just shows the different factions of the Earth Alliance, the Balon forces, and the Maxon forces. And once again, if you want to read it, feel free to pause and do so. You know what, I think this is the cover of the manual. You know what, let's just call it the other side. Moving on to this side of the manual, we got more information right here. It also, again, encourages you to customize it. And right down there, it shows the custom kits and advertisements of other 30-minute missions kits. And checking the parts list, well, we are using all of them. And tell me this does not look adorable to you. We have runners A1, 2, and 3. That's going to be the hot pink parts, and you also get a duplicate of A2 and A3. Next up, we got runners B1, 2, 3, and 4 is going to be more like the salmon pink runner, and you also have a duplicate of B2 and B4 right here. Just to keep in mind, I forgot to tell you that these runners can be broken apart. Runners C1 and C2 is going to be more of the salmon pink color parts. Next up, you have runners D1, D3, and D2. This runner right here is going to be like an additional for like runner D1, and this is just D2 like right down there. Runner E1 is going to be the clear pink parts, and runner E2 is going to be the white parts. Finally, you have a tiny polycap runner, and you know what's missing? The marking stickers. That's going to be it for the unboxing. Now, so far it does look pretty interesting. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but usually like the 30-minute missions kits don't have like a lot of parts, but maybe this one is a special occasion. So I'll put this kit together right now, and I'll see you guys right after. Right, and here is the kit all put together, and of course, being a 30-minute missions kit, it does go by pretty fast. I really like how the out-of-box presentation came out, very detailed, and the face right there, I mean, it can be a bit creepy with that, you know, blank stare. This should have been a Halloween video. It's alright, I'm just messing with you, it's not that creepy. The thing to keep in mind is that yes, she does stand fine on her 2 feet, but just one slight breeze she could fall over. So far she's doing me justice. Moving on to seam lines, well, there isn't really any. Even if there is, they are well hidden as a detail or a panel point. As for stickers, well, we saw the unboxing, you don't get any. So moving on with accessories, starting off with hand options. What you see on the kit are the weapon holding hands. Next up, you have 2 open palm hands and 1 weapon holding hand on an angle. But keep in mind, if you really want to use these, you're going to have to swap out the back cover of the hands to use it. Next up, you have this little armor piece that the manual wants you to put together. Now, you could put it either onto the backpack or onto the rear. Now, when you put it onto the backpack, it does look a little... Wait, actually, scratch that. It actually looks pretty badass. It has like this little shoulder armor. What I meant to say is that if you put it like down there, it does look a little bit funny. Except you have these little circle pieces with a peg on it. Now, if you don't know what they are, if you've seen my 30-minute system review, it's like one of those pieces that you have to swap out like this ring piece right here to swap it out for this piece. So, you know, customization. Finally, you have this little gun right here. Now, the cool thing is you can pull this little bayonet out to be like a little melee weapon. And I forgot to mention is that you have this little breastplate right here that you can swap this out for, once again, customization. On camera, it can be up. Alright, it decided to behave this time. And it should look like this. And you also get like these extra pieces, I don't know what's for, but the highlight are these pieces. Now, in the manual that you can use like other 30-minute missions kits if you want to use their shoulder armor and attach it on hers. Moving on with articulation, starting off with the head, you do have this like double ball joint on this hair piece, you want to call it that. Oh yeah, and you also have this cool gimmick where you can have this visor move down. So all you gotta do is just pop this off, which shows like a little tab, and you can just put in any of the 3 slots. And if you're curious, here's what she looks like when the visor is all the way down and on the middle. Anyway, the head is on a double ball jointed neck. As for the shoulder, it could move out just a little bit. It can move up this high. Just have to move the hair piece out just to make some improvements. You got a bicep swivel. Well, it's not a double bend, it's more like a single joint that's like more than 90 degrees. Oh yeah, and since it's on a ball joint, it does everything what a ball joint does. And you also have a ball joint on the wrist. So moving on to the torso, it is very well articulated, so it can crunch forward, it can move back this far, it has some side to side, and you have a waist swivel. Okay, so moving on to the waist, well, all you have is just a little armor piece, just moving side to side. And moving on to the legs, it can move up this far, it can move back this far, and you look closely, if you can shift it downwards, you get a bit of a higher kick. And right over here, that's more than a splits. You get a thigh rotation, double bend on the knee, and now moving on to the feet, it can go up this far, it can move back that far. And as for a pivot, I'd say it's actually a pretty good pivot. Overall, the articulation on this kit is really great. You're gonna have a fun time posing this kit. Moving on size comparisons, here it is right next to the standard size GM. Now get this, both of them are at 1/144 scale, and she is bigger than the GM, which is quite impressive. And finally, here she is right next to Alita 1, SD Ariel, and Lego Batgirl. So that's gonna be it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Moving on to my final thoughts. Overall, really fun kit. It's what I expect for a 30-minute missions kit. I highly recommend you pick this kit up if you want like a more of an interesting take, or if you want to take a break from a typical robot and try something new. But I mean, it's still a robot, but as a girl. Poses it very nicely, and again, since this is a 30-minute missions kit, you are open to customizing it. Like you can put some C-clips on her hair, got some 3mm holes. You know, the possibilities are endless. Alright, so that about wraps up the review. If you guys made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're new here and want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Questions, concerns, comment down below. See you in the next video. You knew I had to do this post. Sorry, but not sorry.